6 preview of all the football games in the short conference. And again, it's just me talking, so I'm going to go through it as quickly as I could, get everybody's names out there of their programs, and that's that. Again, I'm by myself. I'm not with Scott right now, so let's do it right now. We got number 1 Red Bank Catholic at Manalapan, the number 10th ranked team in the Shore. Manalapan is going to get a multiplier from this game. Red Bank Catholic is coming off a loss, their first loss this season. This is not a good matchup for Manalapan. Red Bank Catholic, I'm sure, is going to be hungry and to make a point, letting everybody know that they are the number 1 football team and make a statement with Manalapan. Manalapan's got a good football team too, so I'm very interested to see if Manalapan can contain Red Bank Catholic's physicality of their offense and defense, and if they can and make it into special teams, they got Anthony Macchio at Manalapan that can always make a big play, and also Colton as a kicker. But Red Bank Catholic has a lot of horses on their football team. Sabino Portella, Frankie Williams is having a great year. Don't forget about Manuel Ross and Najee Rahman. They are loaded with talent. I love their defense with Aiden Donahue, the defensive end, and also, of course, Davin Bruton with Michael Palmieri. They're loaded, Red Bank Catholic. This is a tough game for Manalapan. The second game is Tom Driver North, the number 2 ranked team in the Shore. They're 6-0 versus Lacey Township, not having a typical Lacey Township season. Coach Versil, yes, he's won 300 wins, but that's not going to help him in this week with Tom Driver North, who's just rolling right now. Micah Ford is just leading an offense that is second to none. And they're one of the top public school teams in the state of New Jersey, without a doubt. They're rolling. They have numerous athletes on the perimeter, but I really love their guys in the trenches. Jalen Matthews, Josh and Jay Kane, Biaco. All those dudes up front are tough to resist. So Tom Driver North's offense and defense might be a little too much for Lacey Township. Third game, number 3 ranked Donovan Catholic versus Wall, who is winless. Donovan Catholic lost last week at MetLife Stadium to St. Joe's Montvale. Donovan Catholic's a good football team. Just imagine how good that team must be. They're going to be hungry to get back on winning ways, playing a Wall football team that, has, they're kind of with a new coach, Ed Guerreri, playing a tough schedule, and adding Donovan Catholic to the mix is going to be a tough game for them to resist. Donovan Catholic just might have a little too much skill players for them, and they're also not that bad in the trenches, led by Zaire Day and Adam Yevanchek. Point Borough is playing Monmouth, 5-0 versus 2-3 Monmouth. Point Borough is steamrolling right now. They don't have great stats, individually stats, because they keep divvying it up. They're playing on short fields because their defense is giving up, I think, 115 yards a game. They're just playing great football, all cylinders. Offense, defense, and also special teams, returning a couple kicks for touchdowns and playing relentless football on that right there. I don't see Point Borough being challenged too much by Monmouth. Point Borough is just right now is steamrolling and looking to be a number 1, number 2 seed in Group 2 football. Here is the game of the week by a lot of people. Number 5, Middletown South versus number 6, Rumson. 3-1 Middletown South, 3-2 Rumson. You compare teams, you do the whole 9 yards, you do your checklist of what players they got here and over here. I mean, it just kind of narrows it down to it's going to be probably the guy with the ball last is going to win this football game. There are 2 evenly matched football teams. There are 2 football teams that have high expectations to make it big in the state playoffs. Rumson in Group 2, Middletown South in Group 4. This is a great game to watch because it's going to be 2 good football programs that's going to make a stand in the state playoffs. I love Rumson's Owen O'Toole at quarterback. He's doing a really nice job surprising people a lot. I like Jake Zawackel at quarterback too. At Middletown South, a junior. Also Donovan Subney at running back. There's some star power on both sides. Do not forget Colin Gallagher at the linebacker coming off the edge, wrecking havoc behind a line of scrimmage. Those guys are going to have a big game on hand for them. I wish I could be there. Scott Stump may be at that Rumson game, and that's going to be a barn burner there. Ocean Township versus Brick Township. The number 7th ranked Ocean Township playing 3-2 Brick. Brick's kind of the sleeper team. I kind of think that they're kind of playing a lot better than people thought because they were missing a lot of guys through graduation. Ocean Township, again, they had 2 wins last year. Are they surprising people? Well, I know they were injured last year, and I said it. I told you so, that Ocean Township was going to be that surprise team too, and they are looking real good, led by Tyler Douglas, Shane Garrett, C.J. Flanagan, Ben Gerard. They got some good football players on that team right there, and they're playing real well. That's going to be a tough game. Brick Township, if they can win that game, will solidify a berth in the state playoffs. They need to get that 4th and 5th win, but if they beat Ocean Township, that might be able to do it right there. Long Branch is marching into number 8, Middletown North, and Middletown North is looking good with Luke Sheehan, his first season at quarterback. He doesn't look like a first-year quarterback, very polished, under the direction of Coach Steve Bush. Jake Lopez and Peter Dempsey, 2 of the better DNs in the Shore Conference. He's got athletes on the perimeter. I always said that Coach Bush is the best offensive play caller. He just seems to get his athletes at the second level every single season. Long Branch is kind of off to a start with Chad King, his first football season there, not doing what they thought they were going to do at 1-3. Ernest Reevy, Shamar Williams, Saku Camus, they got talent. They really do. Could Long Branch go in there and beat Middletown North? Yeah. Don't be surprised if there is an upset at Middletown North. And I'm not saying that as a disrespect to Middletown North. I'm just saying if Long Branch plays like they did against Middletown South in the first half, they can play with just about anybody in the Shore Conference. Raritan, the number 13th ranked football team this week, playing number 9, St. John Vianney at Vianney. Vianney may be the hottest football team in the Shore Conference after losing to Ocean City. After losing to Red Bank Catholic at Ocean City, they put on 5-game winning streak on their line. Coach Papson doing a great job with St. John Vianney with a lot of adversity during the season, including that first game loss, just holding the fort down right there. Christian Buchanan, Kyle Varese, love those guys, playmakers for St. John Vianney. Now, Raritan comes in there. Could they do a little minor upset, if you want to call that an upset? Kieran Falzone is one of the best running backs in the Shore Conference. Can they do it? Yeah. Danny Calicari's got to have a big game too. Raritan's been in big games. They're going to be a big team in the South Jersey Group 2 or Central Jersey Group 2 state playoffs. A big win here, plus the multiplier, is big for Raritan. So this can go either way. I think this is a toss-up game and a fun game to watch. Number 18 ranked Howell going to number 11 Colts Neck. Huge game in the Constitution for Colts Neck. They win, they share at least they clinch at least a share of the title. But I don't think Colts Neck wants to share it with anybody, not with one of their rival schools, Howell. Howell's playing good football, just beat Wall. Jack Gortenstein moving the receiver, I think, makes them a better football team. With they're just a better football team all around when he's playing receiver. But the thing about Howell, I like their defense. I like Seven Miller at DN. I like Ray DeFrancisco at linebacker. They're 2 playmakers that can make turnovers into scores really, really quick. Now, Colts Neck, who you heard Coach Ahern and Will Cerdez on our show, they got some talent too. Eric Lorario at defensive end. I love Charlie Whalen, Ligio, Lombardi on lineman, and don't forget Chris Scully at running back. Colts Neck's going to be tough to beat at Howell. It's going to be in mud, playing against Howell, who wants to spread the ball around, and Colts Neck is going to want to hold on to the football, move the chains, play good defense, and also special teams. Very, very big game for both teams for power points. Number 12, Jackson versus number 19, Marlboro. Marlboro's coming into this game now. Now they're starting to come to realization that they don't have A.J. Schwartz anymore. They just lost to St. John Vianney last game, held on tight in a tough game, but lost at the end. Sometimes it gets tough when you start doing your stretches now for the second, third weeks, and your leader's not there no more. So you start morphing into, a different identity. They're different than when they started the season. But they do have a couple good football players, Ryan Mendez, Matt Cassidy. Matt Cassidy's burdened the load at running back, playing solid linebacker. But they're going to play a Jackson team with explosive Albert D'Alessandro, Jaden Hernandez, Ty Mann, Aiden Sweeney, and don't forget Ryan Fisher up front. Jackson is going to be real tough. This may be a game where Jackson can kind of steal it playing Marlboro because they want to win a championship too, and they can do that. Toms River East is playing at number 14 Mattawan. Coach Graber has got Mattawan playing good football. Should I say traditional Mattawan football? Maybe, maybe not. They're very young at the skill position. Amir Martinez, the quarterback, the outstanding quarterback, putting up some Madden-like numbers out there, running and passing, throwing the football, running all over the place. Wellman Cromes, I love him at wide receiver, the outstanding freshman. I love Cameron Cooper at wide receiver. He is an athletic junior, one of the best around. They got skill kids, and they got a pretty good lineman too in terms of Nick Windsor, Jaden Elijah, and Zion Spence. I like that. And don't forget Jordan Reamer, who made that great hit against Pineland at the goal line to win the game. Mattawan playing good football. It's going to be a tough matchup for Toms River East. Point Beach is coming in there against the number 15th ranked Shore. Coach Kaz, never count him out any year. He's a program guy, a body of consistency. They're playing good football and have one of the best defensive ends or two-way players in Jackson Whitaker, big 6'4", 230-pound junior, big guy, Division I football. Ty Koch is playing good football. Lucas Rosa is running the football real hard. Shore is going to give Point Beach fits with their style of play, and I don't see it any different for this game. Central is playing Southern Regional. Central is actually 0-5. Let me change this. Central is playing Southern Regional. Central's been hit with the injury bug, not just with Chase Gumbert, the best running back in the Shore, but many other players. And it's starting to affect the football team right now because they're very inexperienced as the season's winding down. Southern Regional, 2-3. They need this win to keep their hopes up for the state playoffs. And Coach Donahue knows a lot about state playoffs in his tenure as a coach throughout the state. Southern Regional is going to be tough as the weeks go on because if they get closer to the state playoffs, you never want to count out Coach Donahue's football team. I love Andy Folletta's play at quarterback. He's good leadership. I think he's doing a great job changing the offense and also being that leader or the quarterback of the defense right there. Southern looks tough to play in this week right here for Central. Freehold Borough playing at Freehold Township in a big rivalry game. Coach Davies, I always say he's tough after a tough game to play. Well, he just won. Hopefully I'm not right on that. He wins one, lose one, and then he recovers. But they need to go on a little bit of roll. I see that this game could be a good game where they get on a roll. Mark Aguayo, Nick Cordone at quarterback, just doing a great job with a two-platoon type of quarterback system. The defense is playing good enough to win, making a great stop at the end of the football game. Meehan on the sack at the end against Connor Dietz ended the game for a win in overtime. Freehold Township looks good in this game, and they got it going right now. Toms River South is playing Brick Memorial. Brick Memorial lost a heartbreaking game to the team we just talked about, Freehold Township. Connor Dietz. If Connor Dietz has the football in his hand, he is a threat. He is as good as anybody offensively in the Shore Conference. Only a junior, one of the top leaders in all-purpose yardage. He'll put up numbers. They are the number one ranked team offensively, but their defense is struggling. But with Toms River South being so young, this may be beneficial for Brick Memorial. Brick Memorial needs this game to keep their chances of the state playoffs alive, and I have a feeling they're going to have a good chance winning this game. Homedale is playing at Manasquan. Tough game. Manasquan's got their guys back. Patton came back from an injury. Detlinger came back from an injury. Jameer Howard came back. How about them scoring 4 touchdowns on one possession last week in their win against Manchester? That's just kick return touchdown, Jameer Howard, and 2 defensive touchdowns, and then Patton led a drive to score a touchdown. Guys, at what point do you say to yourself, don't kick the ball to Jameer Howard? He's already got 2 kick return touchdowns. Holmdel's limping in there. They lost their quarterback for the year. Coach Raines has been out for a couple weeks. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Tough game for a team going to Manasquan. Manasquan does not lose very often throughout the years at home. Red Bank playing Neptune. Red Bank needs this win to again have a chance for the state playoffs. And this could be a trap game because Neptune plays Red Bank tough all the time. This could be a potential upset. They've been playing real tough, losing to Brick by 1 touchdown, 13-6, and then losing last week, the other week, to who was it? To Brick Memorial. They lost the other week at the end of the game, to Brick Memorial, 47-41 in overtime. So that they're a tough 0-4 football team. I know that sounds weird when you say something like that, but they are. And Red Bank needs this win. This is a game that scares me if I'm Red Bank because they need this win, and Neptune isn't your typical 0-4 football team. This could be a potential upset. I wouldn't be surprised because Neptune has some athletes. Devon Kraft. I love Banks, DeAndre Banks. They're going to be a tough match for Red Bank. This is a game that can go either way. Don't be surprised if it's a shootout. I love Red Bank's offense, but Neptune can score too. Manchester at Barnegat, 2-3 teams. The winner gets to be 500. Manchester started out of the gates 2-0 this year and then kind of peter off a little bit. And then Barnegat kind of lost a tough one at Asbury Park last week, 27-0. JoJo Bivens needs 82 yards to become Barnegat's all-time leading rusher. And, that alone should spark the football team to get him those yards. And if JoJo gets over 100 yards, Barnegat's really tough to beat at any time when that happens. Jackson Liberty 2-3 versus Pinelands 2-3. These are 2 teams that are pretty excited about this season being 2-3 because they're not used to being on that winning edge. And Coach Sharples stunned everybody by beating Manchester 18-14. And Pinelands, with Coach Tierney, has had the guys playing real tough, losing 3 games by a total of 10 points. They basically could be 5-0 with a little lady luck on their side. Tierney's doing a great job with the football team. They need this win to get their record to respectability and give them a slight chance for the state playoffs. And Jackson Liberty's saying the same thing. So the winner that wins is still got, their taste buds going in the right direction for state playoff time. Good luck to both. Keensburg, 0-5, playing Asbury Park, 2-2. I like Asbury Park when they're all there. When their whole team's there, they got Jashawn Carter. You have Jashawn Brown. I love Raleigh Stevens, Rozzy McNeil. They got football players. If Asbury Park is all there, they could be as good as anybody. Look for them to go on a roll. And Keensburg's having a tough season under first-year coach, Coach Reed. Asbury Park needs this game to keep the games going and make it important against Shore. Lakewood, in our last game, Lakewood at Keyport. Lakewood struggling defensively. Offensively, they're scoring. Keyport, Coach Glesman's got them going after their first game loss against Manville. Nazir Treadwell, as long as he's on the field and has the ball in his hand, Keyport's in good shape. Look for Keyport in a high-scoring game versus Lakewood. Well, this is Rob Davis signing off. I hope you enjoyed the Week 6 edition of the Shore Football Report. I apologize for the mishap with the bloopers I did. Next time, I will make sure the volume's on when I have Scott Stump talking with me so we don't have to wait an extra day for me to do stuff like this. All right? Thanks for being loyal fans, guys, and appreciate the game of football this week going on in the Shore Conference.